Alright guys, I am back with another weekly manga review video for Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Bleach has returned this week, which is awesome. And I read One Piece every single week, even though it's been like 3 weeks or 2 weeks since I've done one of these videos. I have been reading One Piece, but I kind of let the Naruto chapters build up. I just don't look forward to reading Naruto every week like I do One Piece. And now that I've caught up on these last 3 chapters, it's obvious why I don't care about it. Did anything happen? Anything meaningful at all happen in Naruto? In like these past 3 chapters, anything. It's like the villains will do one thing, and you'll think, hey, maybe some people will actually die now. And then the heroes do something else and completely reverse what the villain did. And nothing happens yet again. So, these past 3 weeks, in Naruto, Obito decides he was hit by Naruto's Rasengan with the Sage Mode chakra in it, and he's healing up, so he causes this giant plant thing to rise out of the ground, and the plant starts spitting out these giant Bijudamas, nukes in the world of Naruto basically. 4 of these things is gonna fucking kill everybody. So then the heroes are like, well, maybe we can teleport it away like they usually do. So Obito throws these little spike things down and seals everybody in a big barrier. And now you're thinking, okay, they're screwed. I mean, how are they going to get out of this? Somebody's going to die in this damn thing. I mean, he's basically going to nuke the entire army. There will be casualties. So Naruto fist bumps with his dad and gives everybody in the ninja alliance, the shinobi alliance, whatever, he gives them all that fox chakra again to protect them. And if that's not enough, his dad, going through Naruto's chakra, the fox's chakra, all of this crap, teleports them all out of the barrier. So the bombs go off and nothing happens yet again. And this was at least 2 chapters of this bullshit. Just a huge waste of time. Not a single person died. And Kishimoto tried to explain this technique, but it was kind of half-assed. Like, it still didn't fully make sense how they were even able to pull this shit off. So even Naruto's like, well, it just kind of, I don't know, you know, it just worked. That's basically what he said. This is crap, man. This is terrible writing right here, where you just pull techniques out of your ass constantly. Madara and the first Hokage are still just staring at each other. They're not doing crap. So the barrier collapses. Everybody's fine. We've seen this before. This is at least the 2nd time Naruto's covered everybody in chakra and just saves every single person's ass again. And then his dad, Naruto and his dad, his dad now has a demon fox too. Fuck, I don't understand it. Now Naruto and his dad, they form a Rasengan with Sage Mode chakra and they go to attack Obito. And Obito uses his little black jelly things to block it. And that's about it. So he deflects the attack, and then Naruto says, we gotta destroy that black crap. 3 chapters. That's what happened. 3 weeks of manga. Damn near 60 pages. And that's what happened. And this is like the final, this is the big blowout here. This is it. It's just really disappointing. I mean, some weeks you'll get a decent chapter with some nice action and stuff going on, but other times it's just a huge waste like this. And another time it was kind of a waste was when the Jubi was attacking everyone, and they had that chapter where all the shinobi alliances using different techniques to try to trap the Jubi. Like the Earth people got him in one thing, and then there's like spitting fire and something on top of him to like trap him. And then, of course, next week he just breaks out of it. Just seems like the villains will try to do something to get the upper hand, and then the heroes immediately make it meaningless. Oh, and there is one other thing that happened. Obito decides to release the Jubi, is what it looks like, and send everybody into that hypnotized state of mind, the Tsukiyami or something like that, where they're all just hypnotized and he can take over the world. So it's getting down to the wire, I guess. The good guys will find a way to stop this too, don't worry. None of it matters. Madara, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts fighting against Obito too. But yeah, that was actually the last 3 weeks of Naruto, not just this week's chapter. And I can't say I liked it. I think it's getting way too cheesy, and every single time Naruto does fucking anything, somebody's got to say, like the second Hokage, man, he really reminds me of my brother. Or his dad or somebody else is just always bragging on Naruto. He's going to make a great Hokage. This happened probably at least 4 times in these last 3 weeks. So just completely ridiculous stuff. Alright, so moving on to Bleach chapter 547, Peace from Shadows. This was the big return of Bleach here, and when I was reading this chapter, I was a little concerned that Kubo might be rushing things. And I really hope he doesn't. I hope he has a lot of stuff planned out, because there's still a ton of questions in Bleach that need to be answered. But basically in this chapter, it doesn't really show much of Ichigo, it just shows him picking up his new swords, which at first I kind of liked, but looking at him here again, with the color pages and everything, they seem kind of plain. And I'm sure they're going to be really badass once he does his Bankai or whatever, but it really is just a plain design for these new swords. It's not bad or anything, but for the final arc and Ichigo's final power-up, you kind of expect a little bit more. But basically in this chapter, the Vandenreich takes over Soul Society. They basically transform Soul Society into the Vandenreich headquarters. And they explain this by telling us that the Quincy's, when they were defeated 1,000 years ago, they fled the human world and have been hiding out in Soul Society and walking around basically invisible. So it's kind of hard to grasp how this is even possible and no one noticed this. But that's what Kubo's trying to explain in this chapter, is the Quincy's have been here all along. It's always been the Vandenreich, not Soul. It's like an alternate dimension. So both places exist in the same place, if that makes any sense. And they were able to do this because Soul Society has so much Ryetsu, the spirit energy, and that's how the Quincy's get their powers, so they can basically do whatever they want and just stay invisible. So they basically just immediately start attacking. Haschwalt says that Juha Bach wants everybody to be exterminated immediately, so they're not going to drag out the fights, they're just going to start kicking everyone's ass. Haschwalt's going to fight Ryo Kaku, the new Captain Commander, or Ryo Raku, whatever his name is. And then we see the Mohawk member of the Vandenreich try to burn a bunch of Shinigami, and they're protected by Hitsugaya's ice. And that was the end of the chapter. So the invasion has officially started, and the Vandenreich is here to kill everyone. And this actually brought up a question that I don't know why I never thought of this before, but the Quincy's, I'm just trying to figure, where are their parents? Because a lot of them are really young. And it doesn't look like they're in the army. So where are their parents at exactly? Are they dead? Because they would have had to have died recently, way after the 1,000-year war between the Quincy's and the Shinigami. And you can't really say, well, you know, in Soul Society, people age slower, because Ishida, he doesn't age slower. Ichigo doesn't age slower. And even if you say, well, maybe they age normally, and then when they get to a certain point, they start to age slower, you can't really say that either, because Hitsugaya is still a kid, and he's like hundreds of years old. So I'm trying to figure out, where the hell are their parents? Where's everybody else that's a Quincy? And these are all pure-blood Quincy's in the Stern Ritter. So I don't know. I was just trying to figure that out, but probably something that will never be answered. But as far as the chapter itself goes, I liked it. I like to see Juha Bach being built up as a really powerful villain, and I thought they did a good job. Kubo really nailed that here by the Stern Ritter just completely taking over Soul Society. Now they don't even have the home field advantage anymore. So they should just get steamrolled here. They've been training, but it's not like they've had a lot of time to train, so unless they just start pulling powers out of their asses, it should be an interesting fight. But you know Ichigo's going to show up and just kill everybody. But it was a good chapter this week, I thought. Alright, so on to One Piece. Over these past 3 weeks, a lot of stuff has happened here. The little dwarf village that Usopp and Robin have been hiding out in, they have decided to go and attack the Don Quixote family. And it was a cool chapter with some of the dwarves having devil fruit powers. Conveniently enough, they're powers that kind of fit their characters. Like one can turn into a bee, the other turns into a beetle, I think. So that was kind of cool. And they head out to go start this fight against the Don Quixote family. We see Luffy still fighting Don Chinjiao, and Chinjiao tells Luffy how he knows Garp. And basically Chinjiao used to have this giant pointy head he called his drill. And he was a great pirate. He discovered this huge treasure. But before he could take the treasure, Garp showed up. And they fought before. Garp uses haki on his fist. Don Chinjiao uses haki on his big drill head. But Garp punches him in the head so hard that it smushes his drill down into his body. So now Don Chinjiao doesn't have his drill anymore, which was his pride. So that's why he hates Garp. So back to the present, he's fighting Luffy. Luffy gets ready to do a gigant pistol elephant gun attack with haki. And Don Chinjiao gets ready to just take this attack. And Luffy hits him so hard, it causes the drill to come back up. So now Don Chinjiao has no problem with Luffy. So Don Chinjiao falls onto the fighting arena, and his drill just breaks it in two. So he hits the water, he's eliminated, Luffy wins. So the three winners so far are Luffy, Burgess, and Bartolomeo. And in this chapter, the most recent, they are taking a little break to repair the ring. And while they're doing that, Luffy is backstage, and the other fighters try to attack him, like Cavendish wants to attack Luffy, and he's trying to dodge his attacks. And then we find out Bartolomeo is a huge fan of the Straw Hat Pirates. That's what caused him to become a pirate. And he's a huge fan of Luffy, so much that he's actually afraid to even talk to Luffy. And there's another pirate, or a gladiator, who says something bad about Luffy, and Bartolomeo cuts his tongue out. And then Don Chinjiao shows up while Luffy's fighting Cavendish, and Luffy thinks Don Chinjiao's still pissed off at him, so Luffy starts running, and he runs into Rebecca, the female gladiator, And she takes him away, buys him food, and she takes him down to the gladiator cells where they're kept as prisoners. And they grab Luffy through the bars, and Rebecca tries to kill Luffy, but he easily fights her off like it's nothing. In fact, he even says, she's like, go ahead and kill me, do whatever you're going to do, and he doesn't even care to kill her. She's that weak. And she explains that the gladiators have to win 1,000 fights before they're released by the Don Quixote family. And most of them can't survive 100 fights. And it shows the gladiators, and they're all beat up, they're missing limbs. And the only reason they attack Luffy is they were trying to help their chances of winning this so that one of them can get the fire fruit so that they can escape. And if they could have killed at least one of the strong competitors, they would have had a better chance. So that's the only reason they attack Luffy, and if one of the prisoners escapes, they all get killed. And they start to tell Luffy how 10 years ago when Don Quixote took over, he changed the games. They used to be about just competition. They weren't about killing each other. And now it's all about killing each other, now that Don Quixote is in charge. So they want to stop him. And Rebecca says that she's tired of being protected by Soldier-san, which is the little soldier toy. And she wants to stop Don Quixote because Soldier-san is going to wage war against Don Quixote, and she doesn't think he can win. So she wants to get the fruit so that he doesn't have to fight him and possibly die. So I'm sure coming up soon we're going to get a big flashback to Don Quixote's reign of terror on Dressrosa, which should be awesome stuff. Really looking forward to that. But there was another thing I almost forgot about here. While Luffy is running with Rebecca, he runs across Burgess, who knows it's Luffy. And he's on the phone with Blackbeard. And you can see from the phone, I don't think we've seen Blackbeard since the time skip, that he now has the beard braided, like the real Blackbeard. So I can't wait to see what the Blackbeard pirates look like now after the 2 years. And Burgess tells Blackbeard that Straw Hat's right in front of him, and Blackbeard says that Burgess is going to get the fruit, and there's nothing Luffy can do, and Luffy just says, I'll never let you take Ace's power, and then he runs off with Rebecca. But it was really cool to see Burgess, and my god, Burgess has to win this fight. I mean, the Blackbeard pirates need to get that fruit. There's no point having the Straw Hat pirates get the fruit, and you know none of them are going to eat it even if they do get it. It would kind of be overkill for any of those guys to take the fruit. And they already have like unique fighting styles. I would hate to see that get screwed up. So I think the Blackbeard pirates will win. They will get the fruit, and this will give Luffy an even bigger reason to hate the Blackbeard pirates. So that's what I hope happens. I would hate to see Burgess get defeated by Luffy. I mean, that's just seems way too soon for that to happen. But yeah, some good stuff in One Piece these past 3 weeks. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not sure if they're going to go ahead and do the next fight, or if something's going to happen with the dwarves and the toys and everybody wants to attack the Don Quixote family, if that's going to happen before the last fight can even begin. Who knows? It's all up in the air. Don Quixote's still fighting Law. You got the Admiral there. There's just so much going on. CP0 is there. I mean, it's crazy shit. So definitely enjoyed this week's chapter of One Piece. But anyways, that's my review of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece this week. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's chapters in the comments, and thanks for watching.